Well, hello everyone. Happy New Year. It's 2021, new haircut. This is Kim from Gente Legacy, and I'm so proud to bring Audrey Garcia to you all today. She is an awesome friend of mine that I've known since I was a little kid, and our families have been playing music together forever. And this is just going to be such a treat for you all today. So I am so excited to allow her to tell us a little bit more about where she's from and all about herself. So Audrey, take it away.
I'm from Fort Garland, born and raised. I grew up playing in church in both Fort Garland and San Luis. Went to school at Sierra Grande.
Woo-hoo.
Played basketball, volleyball, did everything.
Nice. Our families played music together when we were kids. And so my dad and my brother played with your Uncle Nick and had a band called Grupo Musico.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. My brother was little. He could barely see over the keyboards when he
know, he was all tiny, jamming out.
And so, and we've just sort of been, we've known each other ever since. And, we've done family reunions together and we sang. And
well, see, they started it. They started it and we'd always be there. But then we carried it on because remember in Colorado Springs, we'd always get together. I'd take the guitar and me and your dad would play guitars and everybody would be on your balcony singing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was such a blast. So much fun. Yeah. So those are some of my best memories.
Mine too.
So tell me, when did the love for music begin for you?
I think I was born with the love for music. I've always loved music. They have pictures of me when I was like 2 years old, just sitting next to my Uncle Nick when he was playing his guitar, or they have recordings. I was probably about 3. My uncle was jamming at my grandma's house with some of his friends. Mm-hmm. And my favorite song that he used to play was Flor de las Flores. Oh. And I'd always tell them, they got me on the recording all little, telling him, play Flor de las Flores, Uncle Nick. And so he started playing it and I would sing with him. And he could hear me. And then I had a little guitar that he had brought me back from Mexico when he went on his class trip, the senior trip. And I thought I was all cool. I'd act like I was all grown and I'd sit right next to him and I'd be jamming out with him. You could hear me on there, my guitar completely out of tune, all off beat, but I was jamming along right with him.
So cute. I love it. That's awesome. So when did you learn? Did you teach yourself or how did you learn to play?
I did. I would always ask him to teach me, but at that age, he was in the age where he was hanging out with his friends and he had that busy life going on. So I would record him and on the old tape players, I'd play it back over and over and mess around on my guitar until I figured it out. And one day I walked into the store where my mom was working and I said, hey, I was like, listen to this. And I started playing El Mosquito, just like him. And she looked at me like, where did you learn how to do that? She was all freaked out. And I was like, I don't know, I was playing my tape of Uncle Nick and playing it till I figured it out. She freaked out. She was like, oh, wow.
That's so cool. See, that is awesome. And so you didn't learn through any kind of teacher or anything, it's all self-taught. And what about singing? Same thing, right?
Singing, I used to be shy when I was young. I was real shy. I didn't want to sing. And I grew up playing in church. So there, I kind of learned from Maddie and Archie, the chords and stuff, because leads, I could listen to something and I'll figure out a lead like real quick. But then I started learning chords and different things like that, different songs. And it's funny because the whole choir would sing and I'd sing real low. So like if I messed up on a word or something, nobody would hear me. At least I thought.
Uh-oh.
And I was about 7 years old when I started doing this.
Oh, wow.
But then, I don't know if I think it was a funeral. They had asked Maddie to play because she was the leader of our crew. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't going to be able to be there. So she left me in control. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh, man, we got to practice like every day, all day.
At 7 years
like,
old.
You'll be okay.
Wow.
And so I led the choir and we made a mistake. And I started laughing because I was little still. And I was like, oh, man, how are we going to cover this up? But then I had no choice but to sing. So to get everybody back on track. And that's when I kind of started coming out.
Wow.
But what made me sing was my tia, Eduarda. She told me, she goes, Hita, she said, for my funeral, when I die, I want you to sing. And I was like, no. And I was 12 years old when she told me this. I was like, no way, tia. I was like, I can't do it. She's like, you will. And I argued. I was like, nope, not me. So she died when I was about 23. And I could hear her in my mind, you're gonna play. So I got my music and I got prepared. And I was like, oh, I hope they don't ask me. I don't want to do it. And I had to drive from Denver. So driving to San Luis from Denver, I was thinking about the music and kind of preparing my mind, like, quit being a chicken. You know, this is what she wanted for you to do. You have to do it for her.
Yeah.
And so by the time I got there, I had mentally prepared and I was ready. Well, one of my tios told me, oh, you don't have to play. The mariachis are going to play. And so it was like, whoo, okay, cool. I could breathe. And so I was standing outside before church. And then one of the other uncles came and he's like, I hope you're ready to play. And I was like, what? I was like, they just told me I didn't have to. And he's like, oh no, the mariachi's got a flat tire and they're not going to make it. Oh. And I looked up at the sky and I was like, oh, you did it. And I knew it was her. Like, she wanted me to do it so bad that she made this happen.
Wow.
I didn't have a choir to back me up that time. So I was nervous, but I went in that church and I said a little prayer before. And I was like, you know, just, I'm doing this for you. Be here with me in spirit. So I got up there and I sang with all my heart. And after church, everybody came to me and was like, oh my God, you sounded so good by yourself. I was like, thank you. After that broke me out.
That was it.
I didn't stop from there. Then I started performing in front of people and I wasn't scared anymore.
That is so cool. What a great story. I never knew that.
Yeah.
And you know, our ancestors will do that. They'll give us the ganas, the push that we need to make it through. You know, that's so cool.
She came back years later. This was just maybe a few years ago. One of my other younger cousins had died and they asked me to play. And I always have to mentally prepare. So again, I'm leaving Denver. I like to be early or on time. I had to be in Pueblo and I was running a little bit late or close to time, cutting it close. And I was getting grouchy. And while I'm driving, I'm like, all these thoughts are going through my head. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this because I'm not going to be on time. And if I'm late, I'm going to be grouchy. And I'm just thinking all this stuff. But then I looked up at the sky and the clouds were kind of like moving in front of the sun, real light. And I seen like the form of an angel and I started laughing. I was like, E.T. I was like, why are you doing this to me? And I started laughing. And it's like she just gives me that power, like that confidence again, like, quit tripping, you're gonna be okay, you're gonna do it. And then I just calm down and I show up and I just rock it.
I love that. That's so cool. I love that story. That's so awesome. So yeah, so tell me, you know, you've been playing music since you were a little kid, and I didn't realize since you were 7 years old, you were leading the choir. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now you have a pretty cool DJ business. So tell me a little bit about that.
It just fell into my hands. I had never even thought of like starting a business, DJing, but since I was young too, I always knew my music, from oldies to country to rap to anything. And any get together we'd have, they'd always tell me, hey, did you bring your tapes? Because I always had a big old suitcase full of tapes. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, I don't go anywhere without my music. So it all started there. Then as the tapes faded away and now CDs came in, I had 2 big old books with CDs and still carry that on every party, everything. Hey, play the music. I was always in control of the music. So one day, one of my cousins called me up and he's a DJ. He called me, he's like, hey, do you want to buy my DJ equipment? Because I'm upgrading. And I started thinking, I was like, you know what? That would be pretty cool. Yeah, let me do that. And so I did. And then I got a gig DJing on Monday nights, the slowest night of the week. But I was like, hey, at least I'm going to get it in, you know, let me practice and just learn stuff. And people started coming in. Before you knew it, just people loved my taste in music and just me, my personality and everything. And I went from not being known to being known everywhere I go. And people call me. I'm always busy around weddings, graduations, birthdays, retirement parties, anything. People are calling me up. And sometimes they want to double book me. I'm like, hey, I'm just one person. I can't make it.
That's so cool. Well, you DJ'd my cousin Jesse's 50th in
Oh yeah,
January of last year, and
that
man,
was a
that was
blast.
a blast. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. I think we scared everybody at that place in Colorado Springs with all my family, and just all the fun that we were having. We took over, and it was a
We
blast.
did.
So it was so much fun.
I think they just joined in, so we recruited new members.
New members of the family for real.
Yeah,
And Jesse was so surprised.
he
And he was
was.
there with the guitar playing Las
Right.
Mañanitas when he came in. That was classic. I love that. It was so
Yeah.
cool. So cool. Yeah, so man, and that's what music does. It makes people happy. It brings back memories. It brings up nostalgia. It speaks to people's hearts, and that's what it does. That's what being a DJ does. And so tell me the name of your business and how people can get a hold of you if they want to hire you.
I'm DJ Eargasmic, and a lot of people always ask me about the name. So yes, I tell them Eargasmic because it's pleasure for your ears. No matter who or what age, anybody, I've got the music that is going to make everybody happy.
Sweet.
And that's what makes my heart happy is when I'm playing the music and people are out there, even if they don't dance, if they're sitting at their table and moving their head or, their hand on the table, their feet going, it makes me happy because I see smiles surrounded everywhere.
That's cool. Right on. Well,
But my email, if you need to email me, djeargasmic at yahoo.com, or my phone number, 719-649-7419, or my Facebook, message me on Facebook.
Sweet. So we'll make sure to get that at the end, and we'll have all of that information printed for everybody to see when we're finished with the interview, so that you can get a hold of Audrey and get your groove on the dance floor with the music. And then now your latest adventure, you just you just got an awesome achievement with a new business venture. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So I've always been into technology.
Mm-hmm.
I've been an undercover nerd. A lot of people that know me don't even know that. So in school, I got good grades and I was into building computers and stuff like that. And I kind of fell out of it when I had to grow up an adult and get to working and stuff. But deep inside, it was always there. And then a few years ago, I got a job doing just that and working with networking. And my passion just came back out. And I was like, oh man, I forgot all about this. I love it. So I decided to go and take some more classes on network engineering. And I just graduated now, December 15th. I got all my certifications and I'm ready to go.
What is your certification? Tell me about that.
Well, I got like the CCNA and then a full stack. It's FSMP. So you got me on those. Full stack networking professional.
Okay, awesome. So what does that do? Tell me, what does that mean?
Basically, I make sure everything's working. So like my connection to you right now, if we're getting like choppy voices or our videos messing up, I do some troubleshooting in our connections, make sure everything's good behind the scenes, like the whole backbone. People think that it's real simple because you just turn on your computer and you can do this. Mm-hmm. There's so much behind it.
Yeah.
I know about the IP addresses and binary and figuring out all that. It's crazy. People seen when I was doing my homework, they're like, what is that? What are you doing? I was like, you know what? I'm focused on studying right now. I can't explain it to you. I was like,
it's a lot to explain. Yeah, right. And it's a lot to explain. And it's stuff that if you're not savvy in that kind of thing, it's just kind of, for me anyway, that's kind of how it is for me. But so proud of you. It was a privilege to be able to be a part of that graduation ceremony. And I know that you got 100% on your final test. So that was really, really cool. I mean, just an amazing achievement. So this is the multi-talented Audrey Garcia. And right. So now, based on all of that stuff that you've been through your whole entire life since you were 7 with your music career and DJing and everything that you've been through, can you just share a little bit of advice with us about what you've learned along the way that others might be inspired by or that would want to utilize to follow in your footsteps?
My advice would be, do you. It doesn't matter what anybody else wants you to do. It's your life. Do what makes you happy and feel complete inside. Growing up, I did a lot trying to please everybody around me. And I wasn't completely happy until I just opened up and started being me. You know, the people that really truly love you will always love you no matter what. And I found that out, and I'm loved by many. People freak out on how many people love me. I'm like, oh, I love everybody. I have a big heart, but a lot of people love me.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. You know what?
That's great.
The best advice is to be authentic to your own self.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, you know, you'll spend your whole entire life pleasing other people, and then you wake up one day and where has it all gone? And you haven't done the stuff that you want to do. And you're absolutely right. That's, you know, that's one of the best pieces of advice that I'm learning right now in my young age.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I'm happy. And I mean, it's not that I haven't gone through bad things, but I take those. In fact, I went and I talked to you about it. Mm-hmm. But last year, I was going through really dark times, and I felt angry and just dark inside. And I took that and I used that as my motivation to go and get my certifications and move up. And I think I even told you, I'd be like, hey, I have knocked myself down over the years, and if I could pick myself up from my own doing, there's nobody who's gonna knock me down.
That's right.
I will always bounce up and rise higher than I before.
Heck yeah, I love that. That's so cool. That's amazing advice, and I hope people take heed to it, especially the ones that are younger, you know, because I think the younger that you can grasp that, the better, you know, and the more soon you'll be on the path of your purpose, your happiness, you know, and you know what you're meant to do in life, and you'll never be happier. You know, my dad has always said that. Do what you love. Do what you love.
Absolutely.
Money will come. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I was about 12 years old, and this lady told me that because she seen me play my guitar, mm-hmm. and she felt my passion for music, and she told me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I was like, they asked me that in school, and I'm like, I see all my classmates saying what they want to be, but how would you know? Like, yeah, I've never experienced that job. I don't know if I would even like it because it sounds cool because you make money. I mean, I don't know. I have to I need to know the deeper side of it. Yeah. Like, would I really be happy doing that? I was like, so my answer is I don't know. And I didn't know. So I went to college right out of high school. I still didn't know. I was like, I want to make money. Mm-hmm. So after a couple semesters, I was like, I need to work. This part-time work is not cutting it for me. I need my own money. I've always been independent like that. So I started working, jumped right into the work field. I learned a lot. I've done tons of different jobs, and I have a wide variety of experience in everything. Cool. But it led me to where I am today.
Well, on that note, the, again, multi-talented Miss Audrey Garcia is going to perform a little song for us. So I'm so excited to share this with you all. So whenever you're ready.
All right, let me grab my guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a struggle on trying to decide a song to play. I was like, what should I play? What should I play? Something that I really, really know. Mm-hmm. And then something came to me. I was like, okay, I got to play this one song because everybody knows me from this song. When they hear it on the radio, they'll text me on Facebook and say, hey, listen, or get a hold of me. So let me see. Ay, que las velas son verdes, que rosas tan encendidas. Si piensas abandonarme, mejor quitarme la vida. Alza los ojos a verme si no estás comprometido. bendición de los hombres son las benditas mujeres. Y aquí se acaban cantando los versos de los laureles.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. This has been so awesome. And I can't wait till COVID is done so that we could sit around a bonfire and sing like that.
Right?
And have a blast.
And do some karaoke and all that.
Yeah.
And then for all you watchers that have not read Kim's book, you need to read it. It's great.
Thank you.
I know a lot of young people too, coming from the Valley. Oh, there's nothing here. You know what? There is so much there, so much more that you haven't even realized what it means. As you get older and you learn stuff about where you came from, your family, your roots, that's what matters.
Absolutely. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than coming from there. You know, our people, our heritage, the rich history that we have, it's beautiful. And the more that we can bring it out and share it with people, the better. So just like that song right there, classic corrido, you know, with the copla verses, you know, and the telling a story from beginning to end. I love it. It's awesome. So I'm glad
I learned that song when I was 3.
Are you serious? Wow. Nice.
My Uncle Nick used to play it. And then as I got older and started playing it for weddings and stuff, and then it just became my song that everybody knew me by. They'd be like, hey, sing that song.
That's so cool.
That was the one.
Well, your Uncle Nick had an amazing voice and you followed in his footsteps, and I'm just so proud of all the accomplishments that you've had, and so happy that you agreed to do this interview with me. So now we can share it with
asking me. And I actually have music on both sides of my family, my mom's and my dad's. So I've got the chance to jam with all my uncles on my dad's side. And my grandpa and my tio had a band there in the Valley too. They were well known all over the Valley. So that was pretty cool to learn about that.
It's so much fun. You couldn't miss, right? On both sides of the family. So
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be the one to carry it on.
Yep.
And that makes me happy in itself.
Absolutely. That's so, so cool. Well, on that note, thank you again so much for doing this interview with me. And again, can't wait to share with everyone all of your information and how to get a hold of you for their next DJ and reception or party that they're having, because especially when we could do this after COVID, right? It's being done, taken care of, so we can start enjoying socialization again.
Right.
Hanging out with
or
people.
We're going to have social parties on Zoom.
On Zoom, right? Something, huh? We have to think outside the box. You're absolutely right. All right. Well, thank you so much once again. And can't wait till our next family reunion. So,
I know. Tell everybody I'm anxious. Let's get it going.
Get this show on the road. Okay. Well, you have a good one. Take care.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Once again, this is Kim, and this has been a La Gente Legacy production and successful in the SLV series. Happy New Year, and stay tuned for more.